As Hal mentioned, I did a half marathon last weekend. It was a personal goal that I wanted to accomplish. I had a great time. But a neat thing happened. When I crossed the finish line, much to my surprise, they put a silver medal around my neck. I was honored. I was excited. I was proud. Now, at the time, I didn't realize that everybody that finished got the silver medal. But in my excitement, I turned to the gentleman that handed it to me and I said, "What did I do to deserve the silver medal?" Well, he kind of laughed. He thought for a minute and he said, "Well, you did finish in the top of your weight class." Have you seen the size of most marathoners? I don't even think they know how to spell buffet. Obviously, I didn't go to that race with the intent of winning or accomplishing anything great special physical feat. I trained and attended that race because I know it makes me stronger as a person. It helps me with a focus. I get to spend time with friends. I learn how to improve myself. It's an investment in me.
I look out, it's a cable truck. I bet I covered those steps in 2.7 seconds. Phew, I'm outside. I'm thinking technician working late night with a complaint. Who knows what he was told about me? I'm ready. I am ready. And this young man hops out of the van. He said, "Mr. White," he says, "I'm here to help you." Well, that's a first for this organization today. He says, "Tell me where your problem is and I'll have you back online in 30 minutes. I have not opened my mouth. I am barely to shake his hand. What's the first thing I say? Thank you. Actually, what I said was, "I'm sorry you had to come out here today." All that just kind of left. Does this happen when we have upset customers? If you handle them appropriately, all that energy, all that steam just drifts away, doesn't it? See, that's the key. That's the opportunity for success. And I'm expecting this guy to give me grief. And he immediately hits me between the eyes with great attitude and a willingness to serve me. Not long ago, step out of the shower, I look into my bathroom mirror and I say to myself, "I wonder what the most impossible thing you can do is with that body." And I said, "A marathon." "26.2 miles. Now I can do a marathon in Krispy Kreme. 26.2 donuts, I'm already in there. I'm safe. I'm ready. At this water station, I grab my water. I drink it down and I'm happy, as I can be in a state of total exhaustion. I only got a little over a mile left. That last mile, I fought with myself. Am I going to let this thing beat me, or am I going to continue? Am I going to persevere? Did I take a risk here? Yeah. Is it going to backfire? It sure seems to at this point. Finally, I get near the finish line, and I'm coming around the home stretch, and I turn, and there's about 800 people watching. I figured, hey, we got a fat boy out here. Come on, see this. I hear over the loudspeaker, "We have another runner." I mean, this lady's being extraordinarily generous. Now, being last place in a race is not very fun. Being next to last place in a race is even less fun when you have an 82-year-old stroke victim gaining on you. This guy has been pushing me the whole race, and he is now about to take me. My pride says, I can't let this happen. But then I realized something. This gentleman is thinking bigger than I am. He is overcoming a greater obstacle than me, and he really doesn't have the right to have his name last in the paper. So I decide I'm going to be a chivalrous human being. So 3 feet from the finish line, I decide I'm going to let this guy pass me so I can be last and he doesn't have to be. So at this point, I turn to see how far behind he is. After you've been moving forward for 40 minutes, and you suddenly spin and turn, you learn a physics lesson. It's called inertia. Man, boom, bam! I leave an indentation in a road where I land. About that moment, I hear the uh-oh squad. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. You know, asphalt's very hard. You can't dig a hole in it as much as I wanted to. The 800 people got very quiet, except for one voice. Oh my God, the fat man fell! I don't know if I want to get up and cross this finish line or not. About that time, a hand reaches down to help me up. Do you have any idea who owns this hand? Yes, it's the 82-year-old stroke victim. Son, let me help ya. He picks me up. We cross the finish line together. How do I feel? About that big. I decide I'm going home to have a pity party. Sit on my couch. What was I thinking? Doctor says I gain 12 minutes on my life for every mile I do. It takes me 14 minutes to do a mile.
See, I also have a fear of heights. That's another thing that I needed to address. I was speaking in Sydney, Australia, and I was talking about how to manage change, how to overcome obstacles with this audience. And I decided to incorporate some local flavor to that. This is the Sydney Harbour Bridge. There's a gentleman named Paul Cave that decided that he wanted to do tours that will allow people to climb this bridge. He went to the city council, and the city council came up with 63 items that he had to correct before they would allow these tours to happen. It took him 10 years to check off all 63 obstacles that they put in his way. Once he accomplished that, they said, fine, you can do your climbing the bridge tours. At this moment, I had someone in my audience say, mate, that's a great thing. Have you tried it yet? And I said, oh, no, I'm afraid of heights. Why did I say that? So immediately someone said, whoa, whoa, time out. You're telling me about chains and obstacles and you won't climb the bridge. I said, you know what, you got a really good point. I said, I will do that before I leave here. Fear of heights. This is a big bridge. And when I say climb the bridge, I mean you climb from the ground all the way to the flags. You cross over on a beam to the other side and you climb back down. It takes about 3.5 hours. Now, just so you get a flavor of how big this is, these are the people. We're talking serious. For someone that has a fear of heights, this is pretty significant. But I signed up for it anyhow. And because I am not a small step person, I am a go all the way kind of person, I decided to do it at night. Now this was an amazing experience for somebody with a fear of heights. But I had people around me, so I had a pack to act. I wanted to freshen the familiar, and I knew the only way that I was going to overcome this was to fight through fears. Now, at the top, they have a picture station that they take for you. And this is probably one of the most important pictures of my life that I was able to accomplish this. This was an amazing experience when it was over. Because I could look back and say, I really fought through a fear. And this is the part that I thought was fascinating. At the end of this, I was there by myself in the country. I really didn't have anybody to really do a big celebration with, so I just kind of sat in a pub with a beer and talked to myself. And you know what I learned? I learned the best part of fighting through a fear, the best part of turning obstacles into stepping stones, is the journey. It's the process. It's the strengthening that I got through this.